Most people believe investing is about finding the right stock, the right tip, or the right moment. They think success comes from speed, prediction, and constant action. This belief creates stress, confusion, and costly mistakes. The truth is simpler and quieter. Wealth is not built by chasing the market. It is built by mastering yourself. Markets change every day. Prices rise and fall. News creates fear and excitement. But behind all this noise, one thing decides long-term success: the quality of your thinking. A wise investor understands that the greatest risk is not the market. It is the mind reacting without clarity. Fear causes people to sell too early. Greed causes people to buy too late. Impatience causes people to abandon good decisions before they have time to work. This video is about the inner game of investing. The mental discipline that separates investors from gamblers. The calm thinking that protects capital. The patience that allows wealth to grow quietly over time. Before learning strategies, charts, or numbers, you must first learn how to think, because every investment decision is first a mental decision. When your mind is stable, your choices become stronger. When your choices become stronger, results begin to follow. You will learn why protecting money matters more than chasing profit. You will learn how value is different from price. You will learn how emotional control becomes a financial advantage. You will learn why doing less often leads to achieving more. This is not a video about fast money. It is a video about lasting wealth. A wise investor does not rush. They do not react to every movement. They do not depend on luck. They move with intention, discipline, and patience. They focus on safety first and growth second. If you are willing to slow down, think clearly, and build strength from the inside, this video will guide you. The journey begins not in the market, but in the mind. With this understanding, let us step into the first chapter. Chapter 1. The Mind of a Wise Wealth Builder. The journey toward wealth begins inside the mind. Before you invest a single coin, you must understand how a wise wealth builder thinks. This mindset is not loud. It is not rushed. It is not controlled by fear or greed. It is calm, steady, and deeply focused on long-term strength. A wise wealth builder understands that money grows through decisions, not through luck. They know that wealth is not created by reacting to every rise and fall in the market. It is created by acting with intention, by choosing wisely, by waiting patiently, by protecting the downside before dreaming of the upside. Most people believe investing is about picking the right stock at the right moment. But a wise wealth builder sees something different. They understand that the real battle happens in the mind. If your mind is unstable, your investments will also be unstable. If your thoughts jump from fear to excitement, your decisions will follow the same path. This is how losses happen. This is how people turn into gamblers without even knowing it. A wise wealth builder does not wake up each day to check the market. They do not panic when prices move. They do not celebrate quickly when prices rise. Instead, they stay grounded. They remain focused on the long-term truth of their investments. They know that daily noise is meaningless compared to the power of time. Patience is the quiet engine behind their choices. Patience protects them from impulsive mistakes. Patience gives them space to think with clarity. Patience frees them from emotional storms. A wise wealth builder understands that time is their ally, not their enemy. They allow time to do the heavy lifting while they make fewer but stronger decisions. A wise wealth builder also thinks in terms of risk before reward. They do not chase profits first. First ask, how do I protect my money? They look for investments that offer safety, not excitement. They search for businesses with strength, stability, and real value. They avoid places where losses are hidden behind flashy promises. Their mind is trained to recognize danger even when others are blind to it. Another important part of this mindset is self-control. Controlling your feelings is one of the hardest skills in investing. Fear can push you to sell at the worst time. Greed can push you to buy what you do not understand. A wise wealth builder is aware of these traps. They know emotions are natural, but they still choose discipline over reaction. They take a step back, breathe deeply, and think with intention before acting. A wise wealth builder is also a student of reality. Accept that nobody can predict the future. No expert, no news channel, no friend can see ahead with certainty. This truth gives them humility. It keeps them cautious. It reminds them to prepare rather than predict. Instead of trying to guess what will happen next, they focus on building a plan that works in many situations. They value clarity over noise. They search for truth in numbers, in business strength, and in long-term trends. They ignore excitement and drama. They do not follow the crowd unless the crowd is walking on a solid path. A wise wealth builder moves with purpose, not with pressure. They understand that wealth is not only about growing money, it is also about protecting peace of mind. What is the use of becoming rich if your heart is always stressed? A wise wealth builder invests in ways that let them sleep peacefully at night. They choose safety, stability, and simplicity. This gives them inner peace. Inner peace allows clearer thinking. Clear thinking leads to wiser investments. This is the cycle of success that wise wealth builders follow. A wealth builder knows that they do not need to make constant changes. They do not need to act every day. They only act when the opportunity is clear, safe, and aligned with their plan. This reduces mistakes. It reduces stress. It increases the quality of each decision. Finally, a wise wealth builder believes in self-improvement. They keep learning, they keep reading, they keep observing. They do not allow their mind to become rigid, open to new ideas, but they filter those ideas with logic and discipline. They upgrade their thinking as they grow. This makes them stronger with every passing year. The mind of a wise wealth builder is not born overnight. It is shaped through awareness and practice. It becomes stronger as you avoid emotional decisions and choose rational ones. Once this mindset becomes a part of you, every investment decision becomes easier. You stop chasing luck. You stop fearing market noise. You begin to act with confidence and clarity. This strong mental foundation prepares you for the next step. Chapter 2. Why gamblers lose and investors win. The difference between a gambler and an investor is not the market they enter, but the mindset they carry. Two people can buy the same stock. One becomes richer. One becomes poorer. The reason is simple. One behaves like an investor. One behaves like a gambler. A gambler is driven by hope. They hope the price will rise fast. They hope the market will reward them. They hope luck will stand on their side. Hope becomes their strategy. When hope is your strategy, loss becomes your reality. An investor is driven by understanding. They study the business. They study the risks. They study the long-term value. They do not rely on luck because they rely on knowledge. This difference creates two different futures. A gambler loves excitement. They enjoy the quick gains. They enjoy the thrill of taking chances. They enjoy the noise of the market, but excitement has a hidden cost. It blinds, pushes people into dangerous decisions. It makes them chase what shines instead of what is strong. An investor loves clarity. They enjoy making calm choices. They enjoy finding real value. They enjoy understanding the truth behind a price. Clarity removes emotional fog. Clarity turns a confusing market into a place of opportunity. A gambler reacts fast. They jump into trades without thinking. They follow trends because others are following them. They buy because prices rise. They sell because prices fall. Their actions come from fear and greed, not from logic. This constant reacting drains their money and their energy. An investor moves slowly. They act only when a solid reason appears. They do not chase trends. They do not run with the crowd. They question everything. Wait for the right moment. This calm behavior protects their money and strengthens their decisions. A gambler believes every opportunity is worth taking. They feel if they do not act now, they will miss something big. This fear of missing out pushes them into rushed choices. Most of these choices lead to regret. An investor believes that opportunities will always return. They know the market is full of chances. They know patience brings better results than panic. They trust that the right investment will appear when they are ready. This trust gives them emotional freedom. A gambler focuses on price alone. They care about what the chart shows. They care about how fast the price moves. They care about quick profit. But price is only the surface. It hides the truth beneath. Harvester focuses on value. They care about the business behind the price. They care about earnings strength and long-term potential. They care about whether the company can survive difficult times. Value guides them more than trends. A gambler turns small mistakes into big losses. When a trade goes wrong, they do not stop. They try to recover quickly. They bet again without thinking. This emotional spiral destroys wealth. An investor turns mistakes into lessons. When something goes wrong, they reflect. They study what happened. They learn and adjust. Mistakes become stepping stones, not traps. A gambler dreams of becoming rich quickly. They see the market as a shortcut to wealth. Shortcuts are tempting but dangerous. Most shortcuts lead to dead ends. An investor understands that real wealth takes time. They respect the slow process. They build brick by brick. This slow building creates a strong and lasting foundation. The truth is simple. Gamblers lose because they rely on emotion and luck. Investors win because they rely on understanding and discipline. Once you see this difference clearly, your path becomes clearer too. To become a wise wealth builder, you must leave gambling habits behind. You must choose logic over luck. You must choose patience over excitement. You must choose clarity over noise. This choice prepares your mind for the next important rule, the rule that protects every wise investor, the rule of margin of safety. Chapter 3. The rule of margin of safety. Margin of safety is the most powerful rule in wise investing. It protects you from mistakes. It protects you from bad luck. It protects you from surprises that no one can see. Every smart builder uses safety margins. Every smart investor must do the same. Imagine a bridge built to carry a certain weight. A wise engineer does not design it for the exact weight. They make it stronger than needed. Why? Because life is unpredictable. Storms come, loads increase, mistakes happen. The extra strength keeps the bridge safe even when things go wrong. This extra strength is the margin of safety. In investing, the margin of safety works the same way. It means you buy something only when the price is much lower than its real worth. You give yourself a cushion. You give yourself breathing room. Business faces trouble, you are still protected. If the market panics, you do not panic. If the world becomes uncertain, your investment still has strength. Most people ignore this rule because they chase excitement. They buy when the price is high. They buy because others are buying. They believe the good times will last forever, but good times never last forever. Markets rise and fall like waves. Without a margin of safety, even a small drop can turn into a painful loss. A wise wealth builder waits. They do not rush. They do not chase. They wait for the moment when the price falls below the true value. They wait for the time when the market is fearful. Fear creates opportunity. Opportunity creates safety. Safety creates wealth. Or is the margin of safety? You must know the true worth of a business. This is called intrinsic value. It is not based on trends or hype. It is based on real strength. It is based on earnings, stability, and long-term potential. Once you understand intrinsic value, you can compare it with the price. If the price is far below the value, you have safety. If the price is above the value, you have risk. The margin of safety is not only a strategy, it is a mindset. It teaches you patience. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you to wait for the right moment instead of acting out of emotion. It reminds you that wealth is not created by taking big risks. It is created by avoiding big mistakes. Every great investor uses this rule because it protects them from the unknown. No one can predict the future. Not even the smartest person alive. The margin of safety accepts this truth. It gives you strength even when the market becomes unpredictable. It gives you peace even when others are panicking. When you follow this rule, you stop thinking like a gambler. You stop depending on luck. You start depending on logic. You start depending on value. You build a foundation that is strong, calm, and wise. With the margin of safety, you prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. This is how true wealth is built. This is how you protect your future. And this rule leads directly into the next idea. To use the margin of safety correctly, you must understand the real worth of a business. This brings us to intrinsic value, and that is the heart of the next chapter. 4. Intrinsic value made simple. Intrinsic value is the true worth of a business. It is the real value hidden beneath the daily noise of the market. Most people look at the price and believe it tells the full story. But price is only the outer layer. Intrinsic value is the inner truth, and wise investors focus on truth, not noise. Imagine a house. The market price may change every week. Sometimes it rises when buyers are excited. Sometimes it falls when the market is fearful. But the real worth of the house depends on its foundation, its location, its condition, and its long-term usefulness. The price dances. The value stays steady. Businesses work the same way. Prices move up and down every day. People panic. People celebrate. People guess. The real value of a business comes from its earnings, its strength, its future potential, and its ability to survive hard times. This deeper truth is what wise investors pay attention to. Intrinsic value helps you understand whether a stock is cheap or expensive. If the price is far below the real value, you have opportunity. If the price is above the real value, you have danger. This simple idea protects you from emotional decisions. It keeps you calm when others are confused. To find intrinsic value, you do not need complicated formulas. You need clear thinking. Ask yourself simple questions. Is the business strong? Does it earn consistently? Can it grow in the future? Can it survive during bad times? Does it have loyal customers? Does it have honest leaders? Questions reveal more truth than any trend report. The market can misjudge price for a long time. Sometimes it becomes too excited and pushes prices higher than they deserve. Sometimes it becomes too fearful and pushes prices far below their true worth. Wise investors wait for these moments. When the price is lower than the intrinsic value, they buy with confidence. When the price is higher, they stay patient. Understanding intrinsic value also gives you emotional power. When the market falls, most people panic because they only look at price. But if you know the real worth of the business, you stay calm. You know the fall is temporary. You know the truth behind the numbers. This calmness becomes your advantage. Intrinsic value is not just a calculation. It is a way of thinking. It guides you to look deeper. It teaches you to ignore temporary noise. It helps you trust long-term fundamentals instead of short-term movements. This mindset strengthens your ability to use the margin of safety. When you buy below intrinsic value, you protect yourself from loss. You give yourself space to breathe. You remove unnecessary risk. This combination of value and safety is the core of wise investing. Once you understand intrinsic value, the market no longer controls your emotions. You stop reacting to every rise and fall. You begin to act with intention. You begin to act with purpose. You begin to build wealth quietly and confidently. With this understanding, you are ready for the next lesson. With value and safety on your side, emotions can still destroy your decisions if you are not careful. That is why the next chapter focuses on emotional control, because emotional control is wealth control. Chapter 5. Emotional control is wealth control. Your emotions are powerful, and if you do not guide them, they will guide you. In the world of investing, emotions can build wealth or destroy it. Most people lose money not because they lack knowledge, but because they cannot control their feelings. They react too fast. They panic too soon. They celebrate too quickly. They forget that investing is a long journey, not a short race. Fear and greed are the two forces that control the market. Fear makes people run away even when opportunities are right in front of them. Fear makes people chase risky investments even when danger is clear. A wise wealth builder learns to see these emotions but not obey them. They listen to logic, not to panic. They trust research, not excitement. Fear is powerful. When prices fall, fear whispers in your mind. It says, "Sell now or you will lose everything." Many people listen to this voice and sell at the worst possible moment. Minutes later, the market recovers and they feel regret. Fear makes losses bigger than they need to be. Greed is just as dangerous. When prices rise, greed pushes you to buy without thinking. It says, "If you do not buy now, you will miss your chance." This voice makes people invest in things they do not understand. It makes them add more money than they can afford to lose. Greed blinds judgment. Wise wealth builder learns to slow down their emotional reactions. When fear rises, they take a deep breath. They look at the facts. They ask, has the true value changed or only the price? If the value is the same, fear becomes powerless. Greed appears grounded. They ask, is this decision based on value or just statements? This opportunity safe or just flashy? Is this price fair or inflated? These simple questions protect them from emotional traps. Emotional control does not mean you ignore feelings. It means you understand them. You observe them without letting them take control. You allow logic to take the lead. You allow patience to guide your steps. One of the strongest tools for emotional control is a clear plan. Of a plan, you are less likely to react impulsively. You know your reasons for buying. You know your reasons for waiting. You know your reasons for walking away. A plan turns emotions from masters into guests. Another powerful tool is accepting uncertainty. The market will always rise and fall. There will always be days of fear and days of excitement. You cannot control the world, but you can control your response. When you accept this truth, emotional storms lose their power. A wise wealth builder also understands that emotional control builds confidence. When others panic, you remain steady. When others chase trends, you stay focused. This steady behavior becomes your advantage. It sets you apart from gamblers. It helps you make decisions others cannot. Emotional control also gives you peace. You are no longer a prisoner of the market's ups and downs. You sleep peacefully because you trust your process. You trust your research. You trust your long-term thinking. This calmness is part of real wealth. When you master emotional control, your decisions become clearer, your mistakes become fewer, your confidence grows stronger, and your wealth grows safely. This leads naturally to the next truth. Even with discipline and understanding, you still need one more ingredient. That ingredient is patience. Patience is your secret weapon. And that is what the next chapter will reveal. Chapter 6, Patience is your secret weapon. Patience is one of the quietest powers in investing. Yet, it creates some of the strongest results. Most people fail not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack patience. They want quick results. They want fast growth. They want immediate rewards. But wealth does not grow in a hurry. It grows slowly, silently, and steadily. A wise wealth builder understands that time is a partner, not an enemy. Time gives your investment space to breathe. Time strengthens good decisions. Time turns small steps into big results. Many people underestimate the power of waiting, but patience can outperform talent, luck, and even skill. The market often tests your patience. There will be days when nothing seems to move. There will be weeks when your investment looks boring. There will be months when prices fall. Most people panic when these moments appear. They feel the need to act. I believe doing something is better than doing nothing. But wise investors know that sometimes the best action is stillness. Stillness protects you from emotional mistakes. Patience is closely connected to confidence. When you know the true value of what you own, you do not rush. You do not fear temporary drops. You do not worry about short-term noise. You trust the strength of your research. You trust the long-term power of your decisions. This trust gives you calmness when others feel pressure. Impatience, on the other hand, destroys wealth. It pushes people to buy too early. It pushes them to sell too soon. It makes them jump from one idea to another. It fills their mind with confusion. It steals their ability to think clearly. A mind full of impatience cannot make wise choices. Patience also teaches discipline. It teaches you to wait for the right price. It teaches you to wait for genuine opportunity. It teaches you to avoid the traps of excitement and fear. When you wait for the correct moment, you reduce risk and increase reward. Your decisions become sharper. Your results become stronger. A wise wealth builder does not measure success by days or weeks. They think in years. They think in decades. They understand that real wealth grows slowly but surely. This long view protects them from emotional storms. It gives them the strength to stay calm during market chaos. Patience also helps you handle mistakes. Every investor makes mistakes, even the greatest ones. But patience gives you time to learn. It gives you time to improve. It gives you time to adjust your strategy without panic. It turns mistakes into lessons instead of disasters. Another hidden benefit of patience is peace of mind. You no longer feel pressure to beat the market every day. You no longer compare your results with others. You focus on your journey, not on noise. This peaceful mindset allows you to think clearly and act wisely. When you combine patience with emotional control, intrinsic value, and the margin of safety, you become powerful. You become the kind of investor who cannot be shaken easily. You become someone who sees the long road and trusts it. This understanding prepares you for the next chapter. Chapter 7, Protect First, Grow Second. A wise wealth builder understands that the first duty of money is protection. Before you think about profit, you must think about safety. Before you dream of growth, you must build a strong foundation. Many people chase rewards without guarding their risks. This is why most people lose money. They focus on how much they can earn and ignore how much they can lose. Protection is the shield that keeps your wealth safe when the world becomes uncertain. Markets rise and fall. Businesses grow and struggle. News changes every hour. But if your foundation is strong, you can survive any storm. Growth is possible only when your money is safe from big mistakes. Most financial disasters are not caused by one bad decision. They are caused by ignoring danger signs. People invest in things they do not understand. They trust hype instead of research. Too much money into risky places. These choices can destroy years of progress in a single moment. A wise wealth builder avoids this path. They protect their capital with discipline. They choose simple and safe investments. They look for proven companies with real strength. They avoid unnecessary risks. They understand that safety is not boring. Safety is intelligent. Safety is powerful. One of the best ways to protect yourself is by staying away from things that look too good to be true. If something promises perfect returns, it is usually a trap. If something grows too fast without clear reason, it might be unstable. If everyone is rushing into an idea, it may be driven by emotion, not logic. Protection means staying alert. It means trusting wisdom over excitement. Another important part of protection is diversification. You do not place all your money in one place. You spread your investments across different businesses, different industries, and different types of assets. This way, if one investment struggles, your entire wealth is not damaged. Diversification is like building many walls around your money. Protection also requires understanding your own limits. Do not invest in what you cannot explain. Do not risk money you need for survival. Do not follow advice you do not understand. Knowing your limits is not weakness. It is wisdom. It keeps you safe from emotional traps. A wise wealth builder also keeps a part of their money in reserve. This reserve acts like a cushion during uncertain times. When the market falls, your reserve gives you power. It allows you to buy valuable assets at low prices. It protects you from panic. It gives you strength when others are fearful. Protection is not about avoiding growth. It is about preparing for growth the right way. When your foundation is strong, you can take opportunities with confidence. You can buy during downturns. You can hold during volatility. You can grow without stress. Growth without protection is gambling. Growth with protection is investing. This simple truth separates the wise from the reckless. Once you understand the importance of protecting your wealth, you are ready to move forward because even with protection, the market will test your thinking. The next chapter shows how to stay clear and calm when the world around you is full of uncertainty. Explains how to think wisely while others panic. Chapter 8, How to Think Clearly When Others Panic. Clear thinking is a superpower in the world of money. When markets fall and fear spreads, most people lose control of their decisions. They watch prices drop and their heart beats faster. Their mind becomes cloudy. Every thought becomes emotional. In this state, mistakes feel almost unavoidable. A wise wealth builder learns to think clearly when others panic. This skill protects you from fear-driven choices. It helps you see opportunity where others see danger. It allows you to remain steady while the world shakes. Panic is natural, but it does not have to control you. When you see fear around you, pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what has truly changed? Often the business remains strong even though the market is scared. The price may drop, but the value may remain the same. When you separate price from value, panic loses its power. Many people panic because they follow the crowd. When others run, they feel the need to run. When others sell, they feel they must sell too. But the crowd is often wrong. The crowd reacts to emotion, not reason. A wise wealth builder steps away from the noise and thinks independently. Clear thinking requires preparation. You cannot think calmly in chaos if you never trained your mind before. This is why having a plan is important. A clear plan guides you when emotions rise. It reminds you of your long-term goals. It reminds you of your reasons for investing. A plan becomes your compass during storms. Another key to thinking clearly is understanding the business you own. When you truly understand the company, fear cannot shake you easily. You know its strengths, you know its weaknesses, you know its long-term potential. This knowledge becomes your anchor. Without knowledge, fear controls you. With knowledge, you control fear. During panic, focus on facts, not feelings. Ask yourself simple questions. Is the business still strong? Are its products still needed? Are its earnings stable? Can it survive tough times? If the answers are yes, then fear is only temporary noise. Remember that panic creates opportunity. When fear spreads, prices fall below their true worth. This is where wise investors find value. They buy when others are afraid. They stay calm when others lose control. It's their research, not the emotions of the market. To think clearly, you must also stay patient. Do not rush into action. Do not react to every piece of news. Let the dust settle. Let your mind settle. Clarity comes with stillness. Emotional distance is another powerful tool. Imagine you are advising a friend instead of yourself. You will notice that your thinking becomes calmer and more logical. This simple shift removes emotional pressure. It helps you see the situation with balance. A wise wealth builder also remembers past moments of panic. Each panic looks huge in the present but small in the future. History shows that markets fall and rise again. Fear feels permanent, but it never is. This memory helps you stay grounded. When you train your mind to think clearly during fear, you gain an advantage that most people never develop. You make decisions based on truth, not emotion. You act with calmness, not panic. This clarity guides you toward wise choices and safer outcomes. Clear thinking in tough times leads naturally to the next insight. Many people fail because they do too much. They trade too often. They react too quickly. Chapter 9. The Art of Doing Less but Achieving More. In the world of investing, most people believe that doing more means achieving more. They think frequent trading leads to faster wealth. They think action keeps them ahead. They think activity equals progress. But the truth is the opposite. The more you act without purpose, the more mistakes you make. The more you chase movement, the more you lose clarity. A wise wealth builder understands the art of doing less. This does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means avoiding unnecessary actions. It means choosing quality over quantity. It means focusing on the decisions that truly matter. When you do less, your mind becomes calmer. You make space to think clearly. You remove pressure from your emotions. You stop reacting to every ripple in the market. You act only when the opportunity is really and safe. Most people lose money because they cannot sit still. They feel uncomfortable when nothing is happening. They believe silence means something is wrong. This discomfort pushes them to take actions that break their plan. They buy without research. They sell without reason. From one idea to another. This constant movement harms their wealth. Doing less allows you to let time work for you. Time is a powerful force in investing. When you give your investments enough time, they grow naturally. When you stop interrupting them with impulsive decisions, they reach their full potential. This is how compounding works. It grows quietly, but it grows strongly. The art of doing less is also about trusting your process. When you have done your research, when you know the value, when you have bought with a margin of safety, your job is mostly done. You do not need to check the price every day. You do not need to worry about short-term noise. You simply allow your decision to unfold. Doing less also protects you from emotional traps. The more you act, the more emotions influence you. But when you reduce the number of decisions, each decision becomes clearer and calmer. Your focus improves, your judgment sharpens, your mistakes decrease. A wise wealth builder knows that great opportunities are rare. You do not need hundreds of investments to succeed. A few strong choices can build a lifetime of wealth. The goal is not to be busy. The goal is to be effective. This mindset frees you from the pressure of the crowd. When others rush, you stay steady. When others panic, you remain patient. When others chase trends, you wait for real value. Doing less gives you the power to think independently. Doing less does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the right things at the right time. One's acting with intention, not impulse. It means making thoughtful decisions instead of emotional ones. This creates a smoother path to wealth. The world often rewards noise and speed, but investing rewards silence and patience. If you trust the process, if you let time work, if you act only when necessary, you will achieve more with less effort. This understanding leads you to the next step. Chapter 10. Your Wealth Building Plan. A wise wealth builder does not rely on luck or random decisions. They follow a clear and simple plan that guides every choice they make. A plan keeps you focused. A plan protects you from emotional mistakes. A plan gives you direction when the market becomes noisy and confusing. Your wealth building plan does not need to be complicated. The best plans are simple. Simplicity creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence leads to consistent action. The first step of your plan is knowing your purpose. Ask yourself why you want to build wealth. Is it for freedom? Is it for safety? Is it for family? This purpose becomes your anchor. It reminds you what truly matters. The next step is choosing simple investments. You do not need hundreds of options. Choose businesses you understand. Choose companies with stable earnings. Choose investments that match your risk level. Simplicity reduces confusion and protects you from emotional traps. Your plan should also include the margin of safety. You buy only when the price is far below the true worth. This rule protects you from losses and gives you peace of mind. Or is that every decision is supported by logic, not excitement. Set your time horizon. A wise wealth builder thinks in years, not days. When you choose a long-term view, Short-term noise becomes meaningless. You no longer worry about daily price movements. You focus on the future. Discipline is the heart of your plan. You follow your rules even when emotions rise. You stick to your research even when the crowd disagrees. You stay patient even when progress feels slow. Discipline turns your plan into results. Your plan should also include regular review. Not constant watching, but thoughtful reflection. Check your investments from time to time. Ask if the business is still strong. Ask if the value is still clear. Ask if your goals have changed. Knowing keeps your plan alive and aligned with your future. Another important part of your plan is risk control. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Never put too much into one idea. Never follow hype blindly. Risk control protects your future and keeps your emotions stable. Your plan must also accept uncertainty. No one can predict the future, but you can prepare for it. A strong plan is flexible. It remains steady even when the world changes. Flexibility gives you strength during unexpected times. Remember that your plan is not a race. It is a journey. Sometimes the path will move slowly. Sometimes it will pause. But every step you take with clarity and patience brings you closer to freedom. When your plan is simple, clear, and rooted in wisdom, you no longer fear the market. Trust your process. You trust your knowledge. You trust time. This trust becomes your greatest asset. Now that your plan is in place, there is only one more truth to explore. A truth that completes the journey of becoming a wise wealth builder. Final thought. Wealth is not created by luck, speed, or constant action. It is created by calm thinking, patient steps, and disciplined choices. Wise wealth build protects first and grows second. They trust value over noise. They trust understanding over excitement. They trust time over hurry. Your journey will not always be smooth, but it will be strong if you follow the simple truths in this video. Build your mindset. Control your emotions. Wait for real opportunities. Act with clarity. Protect your future. If you stay committed to these principles, wealth will begin to grow quietly and steadily. And one day you will look back and realize that wisdom, not luck, your success. If this helped you, subscribe.